We're here with my new friend, Larry. Just met Larry today. Oh.
Social distancing.
Now, you've seen Rex on our channel before, right? And Larry is Rex's brother. And Rex said that you had stumps to grind.
I do, sir. I have 3 or 4 of them.
But he said these aren't your ordinary, average, everyday stumps.
No. The hackberry is a softer wood, but the black locust is pretty tough and dense.
My neighbor says black locust, he calls it ironwood.
Ironwood, yeah.
Is that another name for it?
It and Osage orange are the 2 best burning firewoods because of their density.
Osage orange, that's what we would call in the Midwest here usually hedge apple.
Hedge apple, yes.
Well, we're going to get started on these stumps, and Larry, you got equipment around here. I think I may employ you to grind some too. You think you'd be interested in that?
I don't have a grinder, that's why you're here, sir.
I got 2.
Okay, I'm ready to see them work.
Okay. Well, and this is your PTO to drive the grinder. It is belt driven, so it is possible, like if you hear it squeal, it's the belt slipping a little bit, you need to let up on it a little bit. Either raise it up or turn the other direction. You'll get the feel for it. Typically, you want to go down and you want to use your back and forth with your articulated steering to do the grinding.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yes.
So you go back and forth, and then you may want to lower a little bit and go back and forth again. You may want to drive up a little bit and go back and forth again, you know, that kind of thing.
Play with it.
But typically going into it rather than down on it seems to be a little better. Going forward into it seems to be a little better than going. So go kind of down to how you want to go, and then kind of creep forward and sweep back and forth. I think that's it. Looks like Larry's caught onto it really quickly, so I'm going to go ahead and get Johnny and start in this other absolutely huge black locust stump. This is the Baumalight 1P24 grinder. Showed this in an episode a couple of weeks ago where we ground some stumps for another local viewer. But overall, I believe this is the hardest stump and perhaps the largest stump I've tried to grind. Larry told me he needed this one ground just to ground level. He said he's going to park a travel trailer here, so he really doesn't need it ground 6 or 8 inches deep. I was glad to hear that. Now this is probably the most violent vibration or shaking that I've had while using this grinder. I think it's the extra hard wood. This is a view from a camera that I had mounted just above the right lift arm. More on it in a minute. I had the monitor mounted to the ROPS. Now there was a lot of shake, rattle, and roll with this really hard stump, but I was actually pretty impressed with how it grounded out. It did a good job and didn't take that long. I didn't notice until later that the 3-point stabilizer chains were loose. So some of the back and forth that you see is because of that, like right there. Even though Larry said he only needed it at surface level, the perfectionist in me, I guess, just needed to dig it a little bit deeper. So I'm going to get some of this sawdust out of the way so I can see what's left. Well, I put those bells and whistles on for today. Some people had asked me about whether a camera would help. So I mounted a camera right down there so that I thought maybe I wouldn't have to crick my neck near as hard.
Okay.
It's a great quality camera, but it's a little delayed or something. I don't know. It's hard to describe. It isn't like looking with your own eyes.
Yeah. So you're looking off the PTO?
Yeah, just right above the arms there. They're right in there. I've just got a magnet mount camera, and it's shining right down at the action, and it works well. The color reproduction's not perfect when it's shining right into the sun or something. You know, it's not perfect, and everything is shaking so hard at times that it's hard to see it too.
Sure.
So we've done 1 stump each now. What do you think of the Ventrac here? Can it grind a stump?
It can grind a stump. I was impressed. When I saw it, it looked peculiar. And then when I started working with it, I got comfortable a little bit. And yeah, once you learn the levers and get a little feel for it, it works really, really good. It took out that locust stump, and I didn't think we were doing that today.
Well, that's kind of interesting. He said it looked a little peculiar.
Yes.
And then once you got onto it, you realized it would.
Yeah.
It's how many people have said that?
Everybody we've shown it to.
Yeah, and we felt the same way when we first looked at it, Christy.
Yeah.
It looks odd, but it's very well suited for the task it tries to perform.
It's a serious machine.
It really is. It's this is a gas engine, a 32 horse Kubota engine in it. But this one's fairly reasonably priced for the Johnny. For the little tractors, it wouldn't work well on your tractor because it's a gear drive. If you notice, I have to have the hydrostatic to creep forward. I mean, that was a big black locust stump there, and I think I probably got it hopefully a little deeper even than what you asked for. I don't like leaving a stump sticking up. So we got what? One more black locust and then the hackberries, or?
One more black locust and 3 hackberries, I believe, is what I've got over there.
I vote hackberry for me next.
Okay. you want me on the locust?
I don't care. I don't care.
I don't care either. I'll do what you asked me to do.
No,
I'm so thankful to get them ground out, Tim.
Well, I'm thankful that you're enjoying trying it.
Well, I guess I'm dense sometimes. Rex said that you did YouTube.
Yeah.
And you told me you did YouTube for a living, but I didn't know your YouTube was coming here and watching the equipment work. I didn't put that together yet. I didn't realize that stump grinding was what you did YouTube for a living. Now I understand.
Well, it's not just stump grinding. In fact, if I had to do stump grinding for a living, I don't think that would be me.
Yeah.
Once in a while, we just do anything you can possibly do with a little tractor.
Okay.
Either of these, or we've got some bigger tractors too. And we just try to show a lot of different activities, right? So we don't want to do the same thing.
Yeah, I hear you.
I see you cutting down all these trees. We could have used our grapple and moved those logs around. Looks to me like you had to do a lot of that by hand.
I did a lot of it by hand, but I had help, and my Kubota will roll those logs around, so yeah. I'm putting a barn right here in this alley. So 24 feet wide and 32 feet long. And I had some trees like that one over there that still has to come down, that are already dead, and they're widow makers. If I don't get that down, it's going to come down on the house, or it's going to come down on my building. So it's not like I'm taking down good trees. That tree's dead, and a couple of these others were dead. So I've only cut down 2 or 3 trees that were actually good trees, and they were hackberry.
Well, this is, I mean, it's not that large of a property, but you're utilizing every bit of it.
Yeah. Where that trailer's at, I've got a 29-foot fifth wheel to come in. And then here will be my hot rod and my boat. And then hopefully I can get my truck in here too. We'll find out.
This is my kind of retirement, Larry.
Yeah, we've been blessed.
Well, let's grind some more stumps.
Yeah, I'm ready.
This is when I began to realize the stabilizers were loose. Baumalight's always told me to start on the right side of a stump. But I decided I would just try different approaches here just to see if I saw any difference. So on this one, I started on the left side of the stump for a while. Honestly, I didn't notice a lot of difference. Now I've got the stabilizers tightened up. It's holding a lot better now. Had a commenter on the last episode say, oh, this little stump grinder is junk. You need a self-propelled sweep type stump grinder. Well, of course this little grinder is not going to compete with a $30,000 self-propelled stump grinder, maybe even $50,000. I have no idea. But this one's priced at $24.69 if you use code TTWT at shopgreendealer.com/TTWT. And that includes free shipping, so just a few stump grinder rentals, and you'd pay for this. Also, it's a nice way to help your neighbors, and some folks actually do use them commercially. Sort of like we're doing here. It's not our primary business. If it were, we'd invest more in a grinder. but it's kind of nice for us to have as just an additional service we can offer our customers, perhaps while we're there doing another job. If someone calls me with 30 3-foot stumps to remove, I typically suggest that they find another contractor that has a bigger grinder. It'll be more cost effective for them. Meanwhile, Larry appears to be totally comfortable using Vinny and his grinder at this point. Once you get used to the mirror and everything being backwards, it's a pretty comfortable job.
Well, is that all the stumps you got?
Yeah, I told your wife, I sure wish I hadn't burned these because I know that what's here could make them so much better.
Well, Vinny and Johnny can do the job. That's Vinny, this is Johnny.
Vinny and Johnny? Okay.
Vinny the Ventrac.
Ventrac, I got it.
But yeah, they do the job, don't they?
They do. They do a nice job.
You're gonna have to get you one of those.
At 72, my stump grinding days are hopefully just ended.
Hey folks, I hope you've enjoyed this. I think Johnny and Vinny bested the black locust trees here today. I wasn't sure.
They did a nice job.
You told me 3-foot black locust, and that's the only reason we're here. They were big, and we just wanted the challenge. We wanted to see if we could do it.
Yeah.
And both grinders handled it okay. I wouldn't want to do black locust stumps every day for a living.
Me either.
But it did the job. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for having us over, Larry. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim.